if the idea is also not working, if founder is very much reluctant, they're going to pivot and they will be able to run the business.
Okay. How did your journey evolve from a founder to an angel investor?
Started my startup in 2019, so during my college itself, and we launched Picxele. We tried to scale. From there, actually, Corona came into the picture.
Growing number of COVID cases.
COVID variant has caused cases to double in the past 2 weeks.
So when 2020 came across, that year we scaled a lot in terms of users, in terms of revenue, in terms of growth.
You're a founder as well as an angel investor. How do you manage your time?
Two things simplifies your life very easily. One, processes. Second, replying people on time.
Can you tell me one of your worst experience while investing? Hi guys, this is Akshay and you're watching the Startup Tales, where we bring the inspiring stories from the world of entrepreneurship. So today we have an amazing personality with us who is a creator, founder and an angel investor. So we welcome Rishav Agarwal on our podcast on the Startup Tales. Welcome Rishav bhai.
Thank you so much, Akshay. The introduction was proper, but I am not a creator.
Okay, नहीं आप LinkedIn पे भी हो right?
नहीं, but I don't call myself creator.
Okay, no issues. So can you tell me how did your journey evolve from a founder to an angel investor? How did you start investing into startups?
Started my startup in 2019, so during my college itself. So first 2 years ran the company in college, and 2019 I full-fledged started the company after I shifted to Noida, and we launched Picxele. And 1 year actually we were just checking the market. Obviously not checking the market, we were just seeing that how we can scale the company, because we already checked the market, and then only I took the decision of doing the entrepreneurship full time. So 2019 entire year we tried to scale. We did from there actually Corona came into the picture. Across that year we scaled a lot in terms of users, in terms of revenue, in terms of growth. From there actually what happened when I entered into 2021, we made a decent kind of a profit. I thought that there was few sectors which always excited me. So like during that time it was like more on the Edutech, D2C, game, all these sectors. So but I wanted to do something in such kind of sectors, but it's not possible that I can do everything. I wanted to run my company also. It's been only 2 years since I'm running it full time. So I thought that let's invest in some startups. So from there actually there was one company in the Edtech space where I invested initially in January 2021. From there the journey started. So initial 5-6 companies where I invested, all were the people who were already connected with me. I saw them, they were doing something, they were growing from 0 to 1 and such kind of a stage actually. So majorly seed rounds or the pre-seed rounds. So from there the journey of investing started. Before this I never invested in any other assets. So that was one thing which I always think now in 2024, that my first investment in terms of in market actually, it was into the private market.
Okay.
Not in the public market. So when we say public markets, like can be mutual funds or stocks, etc. So I never invested in stocks also. From there the investment journey started. My first investment was in startups. Then over there after that I did some stocks or mutual funds, all those things. Usually people invest in all other assets first, then they come into angel investing.
So if you go to see the youngsters, right, we start with the first stocks, then we go to mutual funds, and then like thoda startup ecosystem. If you're there in the startup ecosystem, then we see either udhar dekh ke
Correct.
we fund into the startups. So if you want to be an angel investor, what are the prerequisites do you require to be an angel investor? खुद को आप angel कब बोलते हो?
So see, everyone nowadays is an angel. So everyone wants to invest, say people are investing 5,000, 10,000 rupees also are becoming angel investor, which is not bad. I would say, I won't say it's bad, but it's more about why you're investing, which companies you are investing, and what's the motive behind your investment. It's just because XYZ person is investing, I am also investing in the company. It doesn't make sense. It's a FOMO mostly. If you genuinely want to invest in startups, invest in such companies which you find very exciting, which no one is seeing, and which people are not able to, the founders who are not able to go out in the market more proactively, help those founders initially so that your expertise will help them. Suppose I am into certain sector, I have an expertise of certain sector. If I see a founder of a similar sector who is doing something, I can help them. So that's where the initial stage starts. Definitely will diversify how you invest down the line actually. And obviously keep a mindset of like invest in around 10-15 minimum startups like across 1 or 2 years, so that you will see some kind of a return coming in next 5 on an average 5 years.
Yesterday, I was just watching a podcast by Nikhil Kamath, WTF का podcast था, and they were explaining who is an angel, who is a VC, and institutional investors. So, if you consider what is the ticket size or what is the amount of investment does an angel does, what is the starting and the last limit if you go to consider from your
See,
side?
there's no starting limit also.
Okay.
People do invest 1 lakh rupees also. I've also invested in some startups 1 lakh rupees. People start from there. It's more about what type of investors founders want to have. So on an average, what I see is like people invest 3 lakh rupees, 5 lakh rupees, 10 lakh rupees. And obviously above and all, there's no limit. But on an average, most of the 90% of the people I see in the market, 3, 5, 10, such kind of check sizes are there. So why 3? Because if they are investing via some kind of syndicates, which we are making as an syndicate, so over there minimum investment is 3 lakh rupees at times. So that is one particular reason of doing this. And that's the average ticket size what I have seen. Now talking about minimum, maximum, certainly depends upon the person. If the founder wants to have you, they will take you at 1 lakh rupees also, neither 3 lakh rupees. Because they know that if you can add value, they are not taking you because of money. Because with 3 lakh rupees also, you cannot bring any change in the company. Even if you are running a good tech company, it's not even a salary of a good SDE1. So you need to understand the fact that with that money of an angel check, you are not bringing that much change in terms of cash or in terms of amount which you are raising. You'll be taking the person because you will be needing inputs from the person. So that's the main way of doing it.
So mostly if you go to consider the angels, right? Angels we don't see as a sleeping partners, like invest and forget. Okay, it is more than like money. पैसे से भी बढ़ के they are like उनका time, they invest time and they sit on the table and work with them. So when people come to you, when startups come and pitch in front of you, apart from money, what is that they ask you to bring on the table for their business?
See, what happens actually, obviously, you cannot work with them on regular basis or on daily basis. So what happens, even if you are if you invested in 200, 300 companies, you cannot give time to everyone. So that's now the startup founders will take them just because they have a good name in the market. Number one, if they are able to talk to them for say suppose 30 minutes in a 1 month also, it's good for them. So now for me, actually, when I'm investing in 3 types of companies, one is very early stage, second is like a product launched company, and third is established company. With the established company, I don't have anything to do. I just put in money. They are my friends. I know them. I have put in the money, etc. So that is gone. Over there, it's not direct involvement of some kind of guidance, etc. Majorly, things are required in early stage startups, where I can help them in like connecting with other investors, helping them in business. Second, making them growth plans, or connecting with the potential client or business partnerships. Such kind of things they look upon. They don't tell me. If they start telling me, it becomes like a job for me now. Yeah. I do it pro bono basis or like on a particular basis that they are my part of my company. I am a part of their company actually. So I need to help them. So these all are areas actually I help them. I help them in finance, making their projections, all those things. So if they ask me, I do help them. So majorly early stage startups or the companies who are just launched the product, those are the right set of people where I can be useful for them.
So if you go to see a number based on the figures and facts, how many startups you have invested in till now and how many are alive?
So as of now, in 3 years, from 2021 till November 2023, this year I have not invested in any company. So until I will say in 3 years, in 36 months, I invested in 60 companies.
60.
So from there, actually, around I think 5 got shut down, and 7 gave an exit. So obviously, the amount of exit what I have got in terms of returns and what the amount got lost in the shutdown, it become a balanced out. So that's how. Obviously, see, this was very short duration of time. So what happens actually, what I have understood or what I have predicted also, I have seen also when I was talking to more other angel investors, the good companies will make you wait for 5 to 7 years.
Okay.
So this was one of those particular kind of a company were not that stable, I believe, or they might not be able to find a product market fit, etc. All those things. So such companies will either give you a very early exit because some bigger investors are coming. Secondly, or they might get shut down. So I believe there will be 5 or 10 companies in my portfolio who are gonna give me equivalent of all the amount what I've invested in 60 startups. Not even 10 companies, I believe. I understood there will be 5 companies only who are gonna give me that kind of an exit all across. So that's the thing. So we need to wait for at least 5 years, what I understand.
So can you tell me the story of the first company which you have been invested and then at which stage they are, whether they are alive or dead, or then what are the learnings did you get from your first investment?
So obviously they are alive. They're in edtech. They are alive. They are profitable edtech actually. So and that's the only one thing which I see is like the company where I invested in edtech, it's alive in this market also, and they're doing good. They're planning to give exit also, not good. So now I'm planning to get the exit over there. So it's always very important. It's, I will say, as a luck also, or a very important factor, because just like you do 2 or 3 startups, your startups work or doesn't work. For me, what I have seen in my particular journey, the first thing which I have done in my professional career always worked. In startup also or in investment also.
So can you tell me one of your worst experience while investing? Okay, one of the bad experience, not the worst, one of the bad experience in this investment phase.
So obviously there are a couple of them. They cannot be one. So such kind of a thing is like, for example, there are 2 things. One, where I am investing, where they don't have a VC. But if any VC comes, a bigger VC, in the initial round itself, so they will have their own terms that they don't want some of the angels to come in, etc. All those things. Over there, founder is telling that I cannot take you due to this reason. If they know they are very much polite in order to make us discuss on this. That is a good point actually. Second thing arises is like where suddenly once they talk to me, when they didn't have any investor, when I committed them, suddenly after 2 months, if they have more 5 investors, now their terms and everything start getting changed. Not because other 5 people have came, because now they started getting interest. So always respect those people who has been trusting you from day one.
Day one, right.
I will take few names, like obviously there's company name as Seri. So this company actually, even if later on VC came, they always trusted or respected my commitment or investment. The reason being, I was the first person to invest in the company. Today also they will tell me or ask me everything. So this is one good example which I see, is always trust the first particular set of people who trusted you.
Right.
Example is a very good example which we see in the market is Zomato and Invoice relationship. They were the first company who invested in the first VC who invested in Zomato, and they made the maximum money because they trusted. They also give them equal respect, all those things.
Right. So if you consider, what is a niche or what sector investment do you do?
So it's sector agnostic. A couple of things which I don't understand. For example, I have not invested in Gen AI kind of startups as of now, because personally I have not been able to understand everything. Web3 I have never invested, game I have never invested. So these 3 sectors I have not touched. Apart from this, be it Fintech, D2C, EdTech, SaaS, consumer, all kind of things I have done. Now very deep tech kind of a startups which comes into IoT or climate tech, all these things I have not done as of now. But which is an internet business, online business, be it dating, that also we have done. So most of the companies, as of now, which I focus is like Fintech, that too also B2B side of a Fintech.
Total investment what you have done, right? If you see the total profits and losses what you have made, so you have always remained in the profit, I guess.
No, we have not got return. How will I be in profit till now?
So till from how many companies you have taken exit till now?
So see what, as I said, I got around 7 exits. Okay. But the exit amount, which is the capital gain, become equal to what I got the one who got shut down. So it's okay, that's not a problem. So as of now, it cannot be, I say that made a profit of all the investment I did. Suppose I have invested 1 crore rupees in all the 60 startups, for example. Down the line after, say suppose in 3 years I have invested 21 to 23. Till 2026, if I see that I made 2 crore from that, then I will say I made a profit of 1 crore, which I will say is like 20% of an kind of
investment you have made.
So that kind of a thing which I can say. So it depends. Again, we cannot calculate it very prominently if I talk about, just like we can do in mutual funds, FDs, all those things.
So what are the factors do you consider while making your investment? Like, do you take bet on the startup founder or the startup idea?
Mostly founders. Okay, the reason being what happens, there are few examples which I have seen. If the idea is also not working, a founder is very much reluctant, they're going to pivot and they will be able to run the business.
Okay.
So this I have seen in my portfolio only I have seen. Okay. If they are not capable enough, they will just shut down. That this idea didn't work, I will shut down and they will go off. So always I believe that when you are in very early stage, if I'm betting on very early stage founders, like in idea stage or product building stage, it's most about the person actually. And person you cannot judge in one day. You need to talk to them for some certain moment of time. So once you talk to them, you understand the person, and from there actually you will invest in them. Down the line, say suppose they want to pivot, how quickly you pivot and how effectively you pivot, that is very more important factor. So that is very major kind of a use case which I see.
So if you go to see, we'll take an example. If I'm a founder who is coming in front of you and asking for a, just I'm pitching my idea in front of you, and you don't know about my background, like just I've come, we have met 2-3 days, and I'm just pitching in front of you. So what are the factors do you consider to evaluate me?
So if you come and tell me that I need money, I will not give money. So that
Okay.
is a very big factor.
Okay.
Okay. So the first thing which I see is like early stage founders, not from popular background, college or industry, never got an exit, neither worked. The person whom they are approaching, they should know that to what kind of person I am approaching and for what purpose I am approaching. Even if they approach me, they should know the fact that he is not going to give that much of capital which will able to scale my company. So now what I will get return from him. So that's where you start the conversation, that I am doing this. These are certain areas which I am stuck where we can chat.
Yeah.
So if that kind of a message is there, I obviously take 10-15 minutes of time. If I like the person, then I give the number.
Yeah.
From there on, I see what type of conversation is happening. Either they every 1 month they are crying for money or they are crying for growth. So it's two ways scenario kind of a thing actually. So there are few companies, few people who have been connected. I never say them to call me directly. I see that even if they are updating me, how they are updating, what terms they are updating. Like they are updating in terms of product development, how the company is going to run. Even if the company, they have not started doing the product development, how they are planning to do. But if the same thing, they are still crying for money, I always try to refrain from there, because see, even if you cry, money cannot come in a day. It's a fact. You need to work on it. So instead of crying, work on your startup, what I believe. So that's where I observe them. And if I see down the line 5-6 months, if they are good, I try to invest in those companies.
Okay, reinvest.
No, that first investment actually.
First investment.
These are very early stage startups now.
Yeah. So what are the common mistakes do you observe while a founder is pitching in front of you?
I need money. This is simple kind of a message which I get. If I get 10 messages in a day, I need money. And certain second kind of message I get, if I'm not able to raise money, I'm gonna shut down the startup actually. So these are very, for me, it's a red flag. The reason being, again, if you are not able to figure out that how you're gonna survive or how you're gonna run your company, I don't think you should be a founder then. Then it's obviously it's good to do a job only, that if you're not getting salary, you're not able to run your home. And that is only the one major thing which I see you will be able to sustain or scale. Even if you're not able to sustain, at least you tried in a very positive manner.
So if you go to see, you're a founder as well as an angel investor. So how do you manage your time? You have your own company. Okay, you have to handle Picxele as well and also give time to the startups where you have invested in. So how do you manage your time and your life looks like?
So for initial days only, I started running my company when I was doing engineering.
Yeah.
So once you run your company while doing engineering, half of the things you will learn over there.
Yeah.
If you are effectively running your startup. So I did it effectively, if I talk about, because in 2 years when I did ran my company via college, I made around 60 lakh rupees of revenue.
Oh, nice.
So from there only I got the confidence. If I do it full time, I can make it more. So that was very much sure, because you know, if you also done engineering, right?
Yeah.
So you know the fact that how many exams we need to give. So and
with that, if you are managing something else,
correct.
Then
So then I understood that it can be done. So always got into this multitasking wala kind of a thing. And down the line, I understood one thing. Two things simplifies your life very easily. One, processes. Second, replying people on time.
So more about the startups now we have covered. Okay. Apart from the startups investment, what are the areas where you do your investments?
So 21, 22, this years actually, 23 also, I invested in stocks. IPOs I kept applying everywhere. Some of the IPOs I got that listing gains also. One startup I got listing gain of 400% also. I don't remember that company name. So that was very good. So 15,000 rupees become 60,000 rupees in around a week.
Okay.
Listing gains. So that was very good. So that is there. So the bad investment also I got in terms of IPO, Paytm. But again, I kept it. Again, it's the company which is a legend company, which I feel like the first company who launched UPI. So stocks is there. Then definitely now I don't invest in stock market also. But the other type of investment which I keep investing is like mutual funds, then PPF, then the third is sovereign gold bond, which comes twice in a year. And the third is like which I invested for a long term, which I need not touch. is like post office, NHC, and 1 or 2 LIC is there actually. So that is not, I cannot say that is a 5 years, 10 kind of years of a plan. But the active investments where I keep on putting money is like obviously PPF and mutual funds and the sovereign gold bonds whenever it comes. But again, SGB is again a long-term kind of investment. Your money will get locked for 8 years. So these are the other kind of investments I do. Apart from this, which I make money quickly, liquid money you can make is like obviously invoice discounting. It's an alternative investments kind of a model where you invest in some kind of a via platform actually. So you invest in certain things. In 90 days, you get an investment with a return of around like 13 to 15% of XIR. So if in case you're investing, say suppose 2 lakh rupees, 90 days is a probability that you will get in return 2.12 lakh rupees in return. So it's a short-term investment where you have some money which you want to liquidate very faster, and you don't want to keep it in bank because you will get 3% interest or 2.5% interest in the bank. It's better you get some good kind of a return by investing in the short-term kind of investments. So this is one good, this all the type of channels I explore.
So if one advice for the general public who is watching a podcast, it might be the founders or the entrepreneurs or the college people or the working professionals. Can you tell one area of investment they can start with having 1 lakh rupees in their hand?
So first we need to give the disclaimer that we are not a financial advisor.
Yeah.
So obviously what I feel is like safest investment which you guys can do is obviously if you want to store your money, FD can be one, and all these LICs and NSCs or ULIP plans, all these things. If you want to invest in market, if you want to invest in continuously, mutual funds is the best place. And then if you want to invest in, say, obviously lock your money, SGB is there. But what I believe is like you should start with mutual funds. You can start with 5,000 or 1,000 rupees also. And you can add money, you can do SIPs, all those things, because it will multiply. And even if like market goes down or up, it come to a stable stage at moment of time actually. So that is very good thing. So that is one. And if you want to proactively invest, obviously stock market is there.
If I'm a high risk player, कि मेरे पास 1 लाख रुपए है अभी, and I want high profit from this, then what is the kind of investment?
Invest in startup then and forget the money. So see, I will give you a breakup. So apart from 100% of money which I invested as of now, capital, in past 3 years, if I talk about, let's consider for 3 years, 70% of the money, 75% of the money is in startups.
Okay.
Usually people don't do that. So if people will see that, if any financial advisor will see this, they might get offended that why this person is investing 75% in startup. So they will get offended. So 75% is there. And then 15% of the money, 10% of the money is in the mutual funds, 5% of the money is in PPF, 5% money is in SGB, 5% of money is here and there. If I consider my liquid money, which I keep in bank, that money I invest in 2 assets. One is this invoice discounting, where I can liquidate the money very faster.
What is this invoice discounting for viewers?
So this invoice discounting is a process where you invest in a particular invoices. For suppose I have raised an invoice to a certain company,
okay,
and they will getting money in 90 days, for example. Okay. So I want money today for my operating expenses. Okay. I can raise the money from the market and I can give a return of, say, suppose 10-12%, whatever it is, okay, on an annual basis. So that's the invoice discounting. And there's a platform. There are so many platforms in the market via which retail investors can invest. So I invest in a certain company and I get a return in, like, say, suppose 45 to 90 days, whatever terms are. So that's where you can liquidate.
So what is the minimum amount we can invest for
it? Starts for 50,000 rupees also. So most of the platform which I have seen, it starts with 50,000 rupees. And might be some of the lesser money also, but the platforms which I have seen mostly is 50,000 rupees as a minimum amount. And 45 days to 90 days is the timeline which I see mostly happens in this.
So how much is the risk factor in this?
It's negligible if I talk about. The reason being the platforms who are listing this one, they will do analysis of both the seller and the buyer actually. Okay. So as of now, for me, I have been doing this for past 1.5 years. I didn't have any defaulter actually. I keep rotating 10 lakh rupees in this. Like if I invest in 2 lakh, I get a return, I invest back again in some other company. So there are so many platforms. It doesn't either in a traditional way, bank used to do in a very different way actually. So suppose you run a company, you go to a bank, against the invoice, bank will give you a loan. Yeah. But now a platform is made where retail investors can invest. Yeah. But in case of bank, retail investors are not investing. So now these platforms are there actually. So such kind of one platform is Tap Capital. tap invest, where I am as an investor also, but via that platform I invest in this invoice discounting. So that's the process of invoice discounting which I see for the liquid money. And second is like you can invest in FD, which is a liquid FD actually. So there are two types of FD. One, your amount gets locked for a certain moment of time. 3 months is the minimum lock-in period. And another kind of FD is liquid FD. You have a certain amount of money in your bank. You do it in FD. It can be swipe in, swipe out at the times.
Anytime.
Yeah.
So when you're talking about this invoicing thing, right? So what is the percentage of ROI you will be getting?
So on a general, actually 13 to 15% is the XIR, which I see in all the kind of discount. So XIR is a different calculation which we see. It converts into annual rate and etc. All those things. It's a different kind of a different calculation. Even I cannot explain all the particular parts.
So any retail investor has to go and register on this platform.
Any platform, any retail investor can invest via these platforms. They do the KYC and start investing, etc. It's easy as anything.
So as such, you said the invoice thing. Okay. Are there any other sectors like this where the general public
So bonds are there. So bonds market is very big now. So but you need to invest for say 6 months, 12 months, 24 months, 36 months. These terms of plans are there actually. So bond market is increasing.
This is private or public?
Again, private only. Private companies do this. Number one. Second, which we see is fractional investment in like real estate. Fractional ownership comes around. I don't know the full concept of it, how it happens, because I have not invested, but this is getting popular. Second type of investment is there. These all kind of investments have a platform now, which startups have launched, and via which retail investors can invest.
Yeah.
These all were being done before by banks and NBFCs.
Yeah.
Now this has been done by startups, and retail investors can also come in.
Yeah.
So these are things are there, and these are only things which I can recall as of now.
Yeah.
But there are more. But these are popular ones if I talk about.
If I want to get knowledge about all these things, is there any platform or any other place or resources where we can
Google, you just
is
search, find terms like alternative investments
okay
for retail investors.
Yeah.
You will get all types of alternate investments. So there are so many things as of now. So that's where you can find. So it's very simple, and so many contents are there as of now, and there are so many platforms also. Do your research, read about the thing. I would say if you put 7 days also of your time, if you're very new in the market, if you want to learn about alternative investments, search about Google, read the content, read the articles, you will understand more.
If I want to be an angel, what are the things I should learn at the start?
Stop overthinking that this startup will give me XYZ exit. Stop asking founders that what exit I will get. Stop saying that this person is investing, I will also invest. So these three are the major factors. People think a lot, people ask a lot, and people see a lot. That these three things they need to ignore. Just invest why you want to invest personally, why you think that this company is going to grow. And the most important factor is that you know that this particular thesis or this particular industry much more better than others.
So what are few myths in this startup funding segments?
Few myths, like again, few myths people have built that you can easily do everything by yourself. One, and the second thing which I see is like few myths people believe that if I don't raise money, my startups won't grow. Obviously, it can be a fact that you need money to scale your startup, but it cannot be the only factor that if you're not able to raise money, you will not run your company itself. At least try for some time. Do everything what you can. If you are not able to raise money, it's okay. You sit down. Take it in a positive manner. It's nothing like you go around and say that this happened, that happened, etc. All those things.
If you have to invest in future in any segment and you have not invested in that area, what that segment or area could be?
So I believe I need to invest in Gen AI now.
Yeah.
See, I am not a full support. I said before, I'm not a full-fledged person who understands this entire Gen AI kind of a thing. But down the line, I'm learning new things. What's the use case? How it is useful, how it is not useful. That is more important. Now in 2 years, what I see is like when we started having this buzzword, it got evolved a lot. So it's more about I understand this market more. We see where the business can become. If such kind of company or opportunity I see, I might invest in those companies now.
Yeah. So now let's go to the rapid fire round. So the first question which I'm throwing towards you is, describe your investment philosophy in one word.
Founders.
Favorite startup. If you had to pick one of the startup from your portfolio and work for full time, which startup that could be?
Transbank.
Why?
The reason being, I know I've learned a lot from them, from the founders actually. and I do work on a part-time or a consultant level, but if I want to work, I will be working them full-time.
What is the first thing you do when you wake up?
Mobile.
Okay. What is the best book on entrepreneurship or investment you have ever read?
I have not read any book. Only book which I have read, which is 2 chapters are left, is Bhagavad Gita.
Okay.
That's the first book of my life actually, which I am reading. Not even the literature college, school also we had to read one book. That also I have not read it till now.
Oh, very good. Who is the biggest mentor in your startup world?
Biggest mentor actually I would say is like obviously Ratan Tata sir. Obviously by the values which they drive. Obviously I have not talked to him directly, but the things which he does in his life actually, there are so many things which you can learn indirectly.
That's it. So thank you for coming on our podcast.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.